It is Saturday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's a cold, well, not too cold, damp, rainy evening. It's been raining all day here in New York. I am very excited to be here and to read you a story. Okay, let's get started. So, welcome to the adventures of Kid Lucky. So before we start, we're going to have a historical. All right, so it's important to know where and when everything starts. So the time is 1940 and the place is New York City. And the war in Europe is starting to escalate. The German army has just occupied France, and Paris falls June 1940. Churchill says, "Help!" Roosevelt says, "You bet, buddy." The Congress says, "Not our problem, isolationism." So what's going on in America? Our military is 15th in the world in 1940. We are in the 11th year of the Depression, and we primarily live in small towns and farms. So we're not ready to go to war. So Roosevelt is trying to come up with something that we can help, in a way that we can help Churchill. So he comes up with the Lend-Lease deal. And Congress says, "Not possible." And Roosevelt says, "We can do it." So that's where our story begins. The country is mobilizing to prepare for war and to aid our allies. So here we go. The Adventures of Kid Lucky, the introduction. All right, so I got to toggle between two screens. Give me a second. All right, here we go. The Adventures of Kid Lucky, the introduction. Extra, extra, read all about it. Roosevelt promises aid to England. Hey, Paulie, ease up. Hey, what for? Let's get kicking. What's that hawk squawking about? I got a feeling something's cooking. You always got a feeling, and I'm always right. Don't want to be on the wrong side of history, dope. Look at him standing there with his knobby knees. Let's knock his cap off. I want to get a paper, see? You distract him while I grab one. Hot dog! Hey! Come back with my cap, dang it! Incoming! My paper, too? What is this, an air raid? You pigeons are bad news. Why don't you go take a powder? Give me back my cap. Ease up, little man. Here's your cap. That'll be 10 cents for the paper. No dice. See ya, squirt. Nice going, Paulie. Aren't we going downtown, lunch hour, get some crumbs? You can read that rag later. Paulie, just a sec, listen to this. FDR promises aid to England in the form of men, ships, airplanes, and ammunition. Holy mackerel! In a speech to Congress, he says, "We can do the impossible." Ha! Congress says no deal. Old FDR, he'll get 'em. Listen to this. I have faith in our ingenuity and that we as a people will rise to the challenge. America must be the great arsenal of democracy. Very poetical. For us, this is an emergency as serious as war itself. We must apply ourselves to the task with the same resolution, same sense of urgency, the same spirit of patriotism and sacrifice. Holy moly! We're in it now! Oh boy! We're gonna dust those Germans! Think they're gonna call us up like they did in World War I? Says here, they're gonna enact a peacetime draft. All men ages 18 to 35 are called. But what about us? Says here, they're gonna start enacting war games. But what about us? Says here, Britain wants us, even if we're half-trained and half-equipped, and that this will not deter or deny our moral uprising. But what about us? Those are some fancy words for we're all gonna get killed. Come on, we all got a date with Hitler. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Easy there, Polly. You ain't got no gat yet. It don't say nothing about us pigeons. That finishes me. I'm running out of gas on account of not eating. Make us a paper airplane, downtown express. Lay off. We need the newspaper aloft. Race ya. Last one there is a rotten egg. I watched the paper flutter to the ground. It would be one of many headlines over the course of the year. The war machine was in motion. It would take 18 months for the United States to mobilize, but once we got going, there was no stopping us. You might be wondering what this has to do with us lowly pigeons living on the streets of New York. We was part of that mobilization. Even us pigeons got drafted into the U.S. Army. Life on the streets in New York in the early 40s wasn't easy. There were those street kids running wild all over Hell's Kitchen and the Lower East Side where me and my boys liked to laugh. Look out! They'll eat you for dinner or throw you around like a baseball. And if they didn't get you, the owls would. Or some lady with a broom or sanitation chasing you out of house and home. Food was hard to come by. We're supposed to eat grains. Where are we going to get grains on the streets of New York? Unless some guy leaves his window open and we fly in and snag his cereal, we eat what we can get. We evolved our palate. The stuff we ate, pigeons weren't supposed to eat. Most of the time, we go about our business unbothered. Unless it's the Upper East Side or in front of the Plaza Hotel, talk about an attitude. There's always good food in Chinatown, always something cooking in Chinatown, but watch out, you don't end up on a plate. Me and my friends was good at hustling, and we weren't afraid of nothing. That's how it is when you're young, a little bit reckless, always on the move, and full of dreams. And we had big, heroic, romantic dreams. We was gonna take that bastard Hitler down. We, as part of this growing nation, were inspired by Roosevelt's speech as we listened to it outside a tenement window. Not the president, the missus. Talk about your great dames. We know what we have to face, and we know that we are to face it. Whatever is asked of us, I am sure we can accomplish it. We are the free and unconquerable people of the United States of America. To the young people of the nation, I must speak a word tonight. You are going to have a great opportunity. There will be high moments in which your strength and your ability will be tested. I have faith in you. Hot dog! We'll enlist! Just tell us where and when, and we'll be there. You probably don't know how us pigeons helped win the war. The U.S. military employed 250,000 pigeons behind enemy lines. You might consider that the next time you throw something at us. Ever hear of G.I. Joe, the Army pigeon who was awarded the Dickin Medal? I'll tell you about him later. I'd meet him in Paris, France. We pigeons get a bum rap. Most people think we're dopey, but we ain't no knuckleheads. We are highly sensitive, intuitive flying machines that can sense magnetic north, use the sun as a compass, and smell their way home. We fly at speeds up to 70 miles per hour at high altitudes. Well, that is if you're in shape, and me and my boys weren't in shape. But like the rest of the country, we was motivated to mobilize. Preparation is the key to any endeavor. We knew the day would come when we'd make the greatest sacrifice. Just like the Army, we enacted war games. We practiced flying long distance. We flew from the city to the Finger Lakes and back with no rest. Then with no food or water, and pigeons gotta drink a lot of water. We dive-bombed off the Empire State and practiced safe landings, for we heard that carrier pigeons were being thrown out of planes with parachutes strapped to their midsection. We dodged pretend bullets, flying against traffic in Midtown, while weaving our way around people heading to the trains at Grand Central. Ease up, what's cooking, what's the news? What's that hawk squawking about? Extra, extra, read all about it. Pearl Harbor bombed. U.S. declares war on Germany and Japan. Holy moly! Hey, Polly, Ernie, Freddie, Charlie, Ralphie, Willie, quick, find a radio! Every person and bird in New York City tuned in. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of Empire of Japan. It is warfare in terms of every continent, every island, every sea, every air lane in the world. We stand ready to fight for ideals and freedoms larger than any individual. They gotta call us up now. They just gotta. Carrier pigeons are yesterday's news. Yeah, they don't need us now. They've got telecommunions. That's telecommunications, knucklehead. Hey, we got that. Look, I'm telecommunicating right now. Hey, Willie, what's a thinking? Ham sandwich on rye, hold the mustard. Hot dog! My old man was on me. Half the pigeons on these streets was. Yeah, they all got trench foot. They's all loony birds. Don't talk about my old man like that. I was talking about your mother. I ought to give you a knuckle sandwich. If yous can catch me. There they go. I guess that's that. Yeah, see you tomorrow, fellas. Top of the Empire State. It'd take until January 1942 for Uncle Sam to decide our fates. Every day we knocked some poor sap off his soapbox to grab a paper. Was we gonna make the headlines or paper the trash? Recruitment offices opened left and right all over the city. Excitement was in the air. Young men clamored to get in while we sat on the bench. We kicked up our preparations, sleeping during the day, making long runs at night, adjusting to cold, dark, and inclement weather. The new year rang in and made good on our investment. Turns out Uncle Sam knows what's what. How you gonna win a war without us pigeons? And that is the introduction. Tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock for Chapter 1, Operation Destiny. Let's see. I don't know how to get off the stage. I know, I get red, but it's mostly from my computer because I've got this big 27-inch computer and it cooks my face. Okay. I don't know how to get off. So, oh, there it is. All right, thanks for stopping by. See you tomorrow.